Hey everyone, and welcome to What Did I Miss, where today I'll be breaking down all the references and things that you may have missed in the 6th episode of the 2nd season of Star Trek Lower Decks, titled The Spy Humongous. Don't forget to drop a like on the video, and if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. While this episode did not contain as many Easter eggs as most, I thought it was a good episode for the series, and it continued to establish the rising threat of the Pakleds, as well as showing the Cerritos doing some more important missions than just second contact or Doppler duty. This episode tries to deconstruct the sometimes nonsensical pageantry of the command structure by having both plots put the characters in positions, whereas the tasks they are attempting would be much easier if there were less commanders and more people that actually did things. The episode begins with Captain Freeman traveling to the Pakled planet to negotiate a ceasefire, but she's unable to even begin a discussion because she has to work through multiple levels of hierarchy before she can even talk to someone that can make decisions. Even the Pakleds mistake Captain Freeman for Captain Janeway, formerly of the USS Voyager, because they do not even recognize Captain Freeman as a different person. The Pakleds are only interested in her title. The B-plot of the episode sees Ensign Boimler attempt to become a better leader by joining a special command group, but none of the members actually have any experience or idea how to lead, they just want the promotion, or more specifically, the title of captain. The name of the group that Boimler joins is called the Red Shirts, which I couldn't help sound a lot like Red Squad, who were an elite group of cadets shown in the Deep Space Nine episode Valiant. That group was handpicked by Starfleet for advanced training, but during a training mission, they became stranded behind enemy lines during the Dominion War and ended up carrying on their mission without Starfleet oversight. But the name is probably just a play on the well-known meme about red shirts and that they are most likely to die in away missions. However, mathematician James Grime once did a study on the original series and found that characters wearing red shirts were not the most common casualties of away missions. According to his research, over the course of 3 seasons, out of 239 red shirts, 25 died, which is 10%. But out of 55 gold shirts that went on away missions, 10 died, which is 18%. So while more red shirts did die on screen, you were actually more likely not to come back from a mission if you wore a gold shirt rather than a red one. In case you are wondering, only 6% of blue shirts were shown to have died on away missions on the original series. After appearing in 2 episodes this season, the Kzinti Ensign finally has a speaking part in an episode and is part of the Red Shirts. I mentioned after his first appearance that this species debuted on the original animated series, but outside of Star Trek, the species also appears in the Larry Niven short story, The Warriors. After Star Trek writer DC Fontana became aware of the story, she contacted Niven to write the episode The Slayer Weapon for the animated series, in which the Kzinti first appeared. When the group is leaving the mess hall, Casey says the word Excelsior. This is a term that comic creator Stan Lee was known for saying. This also may be a reference to the ship the Excelsior, the prototype of the Excelsior class, which was at one time captained by Hikaru Sulu. One interesting distinction of the ship was that the computer's voice was not that of Major Barrett Roddenberry, like on the Enterprise, but instead was that of Leonard Nimoy.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Level, please.
Transporter room.
Thank you.
Up your shaft.
The Cerritos is prepared to grant the Pakled on their ship Asylum, and when Ransom asks why the Pakled is seeking asylum, he asks if it is because of weird sex stuff. I believe that this is a reference to the Enterprise episode Progenitor, in which a member of an alien culture sought asylum due to the character being seen as a lesser individual due to their role in the reproductive process. The Pakled refugee named Rumdar asked to see the ship's Crimson Force Field. This was a fictional weapon even within the world of Star Trek that Geordi LaForge told the Pakleds that the Enterprise D had in the Next Generation episode The Samaritan Snare. While Mariner, Rutherford, and Tendi are rounding up the rest of the crew's trash, they stumble upon a substance that alters Rutherford's biomatrix from a planet where everything evolved all weird, according to Tendi. This is probably a reference to the Next Generation episode Genesis, in which the entire crew starts to de-evolve due to an error in treating Lieutenant Barclay, an episode that Dr. Crusher herself, Gates McFadden, directed. While Ransom and Kayshawn, the new Temerian security officer, are following the Pakled, Ransom says they are not dealing with the Talshiar. The Talshiar are the secret police of the Romulan Empire and were introduced in the series The Next Generation. In the series Picard, we learned that the Romulans also had a secret police that were created to stop the spread of AI technology named the Zhat Vash. While the Red Shirts attempt to get Boimler to change his appearance, the Kzinti Ensign states that he has to fix his posture. The position that the Kzinti Ensign puts himself in matches what the Kzinti looked like in their first appearance on the animated series. The fact that Boimler's new look includes a uniform that has padded muscles, shoulder pads, and is skin tight may be a reference back to the uniforms from the Next Generation crew and how many cast members mentioned that the design was uncomfortable and hard to work in. Will Wheaton has even said that he believes wearing the costume for a few years may have led to a back injury. While Boimler gives a rousing speech, he fantasizes that he is on the bridge of the Enterprise D from the Next Generation. When Tendi gets turned into a scorpion-like creature, I couldn't help but think of one of my favorite episodes of all Star Trek, the Voyager episode named Scorpion. It is the episode in which 7 of 9 joins the crew, but it is also a great showcase of the crew of the Voyager and Captain Janeway in particular. When Boimler is trying to get Tendi to turn back into Orion's self by making an ass of himself, he says, "What a predicament," which reminded me of this scene from Face Off.
What a predicament!
Before leaving the Pakled planet, Captain Freeman tricks the Paklids into revealing that they are planning to sneak a Veruvian bomb onto Earth. Veruvian Ore was first mentioned in the second episode this season named Keisha His Eyes Open, and is a volatile substance that can explode when exposed to high-frequency vibrations. Starfleet Command in that episode state that the Paklids are not able to weaponize the ore, but this episode would seem to prove that they can, or at least close to being able to create a bomb using it. Many of the Paklids on the episode were voiced by comedian Brian Posehn, who is one of the few actors to have the distinction of appearing in both Star Wars and Star Trek content. He appeared on the first season of the series The Mandalorian, a series that Eugene Cadero, who voices Samantha Rutherford on Lower Decks, also appeared on. Boimler gets asked to go to a Winger Bingston show. This character first appeared in the first season episode Moist Vessel, where he was shown to be putting on a one-man show called the United Federation of Characters. At the end of the episode, the Lower Decks crew decide to prank call Armist, an evil creature that the Next Generation crew discovered in the episode Skin of Evil. This creature was a byproduct of a war on the planet, in which all the evil and negative attributes of the indigenous race of species to the planet Varga II were amplified to the point that they created a new being. The being became so powerful that the people on the planet left, leaving Armist in exile. This made Armist even more sadistic and powerful, and he used his power to crash a shuttle that lured the Enterprise D to the planet for a rescue. Armist then killed Talshiar before Captain Picard and the crew were able to save the remaining crew members. Well, those were all the references that I caught while watching the episode, but if I missed any, please let me know in the comments. I also want to say that I am super close to getting to the 10,000 subscriber mark, and would love to hit that by the end of the year. So if you do watch this channel and enjoy the content, please think about hitting that subscribe button and the bell so that YouTube will let you know as soon as my videos come out. Thank you very much for clicking on this video. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time on What Did I Miss?